Hey guys, this is JB, and here are 10 things foreigners can't do in Korea. Now, I lived most of my life abroad, so I've seen my friends make this mistake a couple times, including myself. Here are some friendly reminders if you're planning on visiting or working here in Korea. Number one, talking to strangers. Now, this might seem kind of absurd, but in Korea, we're not used to doing small talks or talking to strangers on the street. For example, in the States, people, small talk in public transport and whatnot, and it's completely fine. But here, small talk is fine, but it needs to be organic. So if it's done suddenly, people might give you an awkward reaction. So just know that and be prepared for awkward reactions or stares. They might not respond. Number two, hugging when you first meet. Now, this is kind of connected to like physical touch in Korea. In the States, you dap up or you handshake or high five or, when you greet someone, you hug them. But here it's pretty uncommon unless it's like really close friends or family and stuff like that. So just be warned, don't go for the hug the first time. Maybe when you guys get close, but the first time when you meet somebody new, do a bow or a handshake, a casual 안녕하세요 is the best. And so don't be alarmed once again if you get like this awkward. Yeah, I've gotten that a couple of times when I try to hug and then they just like, whoa. Yeah, that happens. Number three, wearing shoes inside the house. So whenever you visit somebody's home, take your shoes off. Just take your shoes off, okay? I know you're not used to it. It might feel weird, but it's just a custom here. Nobody wears shoes at home, so you don't want to be that one person who, goes into people's homes with shoes on. So just take them off. Number four, public display of affection, aka PDA. Now, this is not France, guys. You don't want to be making out or doing these physical stuff out in the streets, okay? I've seen it a couple times and it's just not a good look. Obviously, if you're going out and you're out in the clubs or whatnot, you might see that. That's fine, but try to avoid it or just do it somewhere inside where no one can see it. Number five, doing a namaste. First of all, namaste is Indian, I think, or from Southeast Asian countries, okay? So in Korea, we don't do namaste. Don't do that. It's like you're racist. I think people do it to be polite or something, but it's extremely rude. I've seen it like a couple times, so just don't be that guy. Number six, flushing toilet paper down the toilet. This might seem pretty unusual, but in Korea, the draining system is not as powerful somehow. So there's usually a sign that says don't flush toilet paper in the toilet because it gets clogged. And so just be mindful of that. There is a bin on the side, so even after you do your business, just put it there and you'll be fine. It might take a while to get used to, but you don't want to be that guy that clogs the toilet and causes a scene. Number seven, writing people's names in red. So in Korea, writing people's names in red means they're either dead or you want them to be dead. So just avoid writing people's names in red ink if possible. Or not if possible, just don't do it. They might think you want to kill them or something, or I don't know. But avoid writing people's names in red ink. Number eight, wearing over revealing clothes. So this one is pretty controversial. Of course, I'm on the side of like, you can wear whatever you want in public unless it's like crazy inappropriate. But here in Korea, a lot of elderly people and people with kids do not appreciate when you're wearing like too revealing clothes. So you're going to get stares, especially in public transport. The elderly people are going to stare at you. So if you are okay with that, by all means, but just be mindful of that. Because those elderly stares, they're something. They're going to stare at you just because, curiosity. So don't necessarily take it personally. They're just curious, and the more revealing clothes you wear, they're going to stare at you. Unless you want that attention, you know what? Fuck it. Don't include this one. Just wear whatever you want. Number nine, sitting in the pregnant woman's seat or the elderly seat. So this is related to public transportation. I know people are going to use it. So obviously the pink seats are reserved for pregnant ladies. So just don't sit there. Even if it's empty train, just sit somewhere else, okay? And then obviously the elderly seats on the, the three seats on the sides, those are also reserved for elderly people. I mean, obviously if the train is empty, why not? I mean, I sit there when the train is empty, but if it's mildly crowded or crowded, don't sit there. I've seen people get called out for it too. Just avoid the hassle and the stress and not sit there. Standing is good for your health too, so keep your legs in shape with those stairs. Number 10, tipping in restaurants. So this is not just for restaurants, but in any service industry. You might be used to tipping culture in other countries, but here it's seen as a rude thing. So even if you get a good haircut, good customer service, I don't know, like a massage or something, just don't tip them. It's rude. Save you some cash. Now this last one is kind of like a bonus. It's for advanced people. And it has something to do with giving and receiving gestures. So in Korea, it's polite to, when you give something, give with both hands. And then when you receive with two hands. Another tip is when you're trying to pay with your card, right, or cash, you want to give it with one hand and put the other hand on your chest and then give the card. Giving your card with two hands might be a little weird. I haven't really seen that yet, but I do see a lot of Koreans do one hand on the chest as a polite gesture. And so if you do that, they're going to give you props, or at least in their mind, extra points. Now, none of these things are illegal per se. You're not going to get, thrown in jail for it, but a lot of people make these mistakes and get called out or get weird stares. So if you want to be mindful of these things, you will have a much more smoother travel or working experience here. Just do it. Just do it! Just do it! Lastly, just use common sense and be mindful of those around you, and you will have a much more smoother interactions in Korea because people are very polite here. So as long as you're mindful and polite, even if you make some mistakes, they're going to be okay with that. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any more tips on what you shouldn't or can't do in Korea. Subscribe to my channel for more content, and I'll see you on the next one.